My name's Keith Loutit. I'm an Australian photographer based in Singapore and known for my time-lapse films. So I've always been a photographer and always been interested in photography. I grew up in a house where my father had walls of National Geographic in the house. What that really did at an early age was sort of teach me to analyse photographs. So because I was interested in photography and I had access to so many photographs in the room, I would spend a lot of time just working out how a shot was created and just thinking about how I would take a similar shot. In about 2008 in Australia, I had a breakout moment where the work that I was doing, the time-lapse that I was shooting, just suddenly became hugely popular. And that was the tilt-shift time-lapse style of miniaturization. And I developed recipes which basically made real-life subjects like cars, trains, boats, and planes basically move like their miniature counterparts, like their toy versions of themselves. But at the time when I released these films, it was the first time that effect had been seen in film. And when those films were released, there was just a huge viral wave of interest around that, which sort of just sprung into me being able to do this full time. Well, I've been a filmmaker and shooting time-lapse for a while. And when I moved back to Singapore, I was sort of quite shocked by how much had changed in 4 years in the time that I was away. One of the really beautiful things about the island, just from this film's perspective, is that because Singapore's small and there's no room for an urban sprawl like a Los Angeles or a Melbourne in Australia, where the cities just grow and spread. In Singapore, there's always change. And almost everywhere you go, any bus trip, any train ride you go, you'll see construction or demolition happening somewhere in the city. And so the idea behind the film was to try and compress time to a level that you could actually appreciate a whole different way of seeing the city. I think the toughest periods for me are the quiet periods when I'd been working for three and a half years before releasing an edit and just wondering how it's going to be received and then having the motivation to put just so much time into the film. Over the years I've been filming this project, I've seen really impressive changes in Singapore's skyline, but I've seen equally dramatic changes in the thought put into livability. There's been a focus on shared spaces, rooftop environments, integrating buildings with nature, as well as a focus on accessibility and bringing services together in one place. All these things make a big difference to people's lives. So this is the new State Courts complex. I probably came back here 20 or 30 times just to capture little moments of sunrise and sunsets and different levels of twilights. Given I had so much construction footage of the building coming up at night, was to basically turn the building into a hero of the film. I just didn't realize how beautiful the building was going to look at this angle when it was finished. Because I go back to the same locations again and again, is I get to meet people in the apartments here. So I've had people offer to cook me dinner and often I'll have someone bring a stool for me to sit down. More commonly, it's something like a bottle of iced tea or a can of Coke. That type of thing is what people offer me while I'm shooting, which is very, very nice. The plants are my favorite part of the shoot. A client, Woha Architects, who I shoot with regularly, and we've been filming the Oasia Downtown Hotel, which is the red building surrounded by plants down in the Tanjong Pagar area. And we filmed the plants growing there for 3 years, and we were so happy with the results of that. I love the plants, and I love watching the building change from one thing into another. Well, in the last 8 years I've been doing this, it's easy to see buildings in Singapore evolving and changing. There are initiatives by authorities to reward the industry for environmental sustainability. So it's been really great to see developers building greener, more sustainable, healthy buildings, and this is something which is also becoming more and more visible in my films. You see a lot of change in my films, but what you don't see is all the thousands of people that make all this possible. And it's impressive to see that work realised as built architecture. From the urban planners to architects, builders, to all the people that maintain such buildings. Without them, there really is no built environment. It's true when people say that Singapore never stops building. It's exciting to watch the industry advance, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's to come.